The August 1923 Air Union Farman Goliath crash occurred on the 27th of August 1923, when a Farman F-60 Goliath of Air Union crashed at East Malling, Kent, United Kingdom following an engine failure and reported panic amongst the passengers. One person was killed and 9 were injured. The aircraft involved was Farman F-60 Goliath FAECB, CN4. The aircraft had entered service in April 1922, with Compagnie des Messageries Aériennes, passing to Air Union in January 1923. The aircraft was operating a scheduled international flight from Le Bourget Airport, Paris, France to Croydon Airport, Surrey, United Kingdom, via Berck, Pas de Calais, France. The aircraft departed from Le Bourget at about 12:30 local time, 11:30 GMT, with 2 crew and 8 passengers on board. A scheduled stop was made at Berck, where another 3 passengers boarded due to weather conditions. A precautionary landing was made at Lymm, Kent, where a leak in the port radiator was attended to by the mechanic. After a delay in excess of half an hour, the aircraft departed from Lymm for Croydon about 45 minutes after takeoff from Lymm. As the aircraft flew over East Farleigh, the starboard engine failed. The aircraft was then flying at about 65 knots, 120 km per hour, at an altitude of just under 2,000 feet, 610 m. The pilot altered course, intending to land at either Marden or Penshurst. As the Farman Goliath was incapable of maintaining level flight with only one engine operating, the pilot decided to make an emergency landing. He asked the mechanic to ask 2 passengers to move towards the rear of the aircraft. This instruction was apparently misunderstood by the passengers. As 4 of them moved towards the rear of the aircraft, this affected the center of gravity of the aircraft, which then entered into a spin. It crashed at East Malling at about 17:30 GMT, but there was no fire. The aircraft was written off in the accident. Villagers went to the assistance of the victims, and extricated them from the wreckage. 1 passenger was killed. 6 people were taken to the West Kent Hospital, Maidstone, for treatment. 2 ambulances from Maidstone Ambulance Brigade attended. 3 less seriously injured people were treated at a house in East Malling. An inquest opened on the 30th of August at the Ship Inn, East Malling. A survivor of the accident denied that there had been any panic amongst the passengers following the failure of the starboard engine, and that the moving of 4 passengers from the front cabin to the rear of the aircraft was on the instructions of the mechanic. The inquest was adjourned until the 11th of September to allow other victims to recover sufficiently to be able to give evidence at the resumed inquest. The pilot gave evidence. The coroner decided that nothing was to be gained from delaying the inquest further, and the jury returned a verdict of accidental death on the victim.